How many times have you tried to do something and it didn't work? Maybe you were trying to win a prize at one of those games on the Midway at the county fair. You put your money down and the operator gave you 3 balls to throw and knock over some milk bottles. You didn't even get them all knocked over on that first set of throws, so you said, I'll try again. So you paid the money again and still failed to get them all knocked over. Now you were determined to win something, so you paid the 3rd time. This time you were successful and walked away with your prize. You then turned to your friends and said, see, 3rd time's a charm. We've probably used that old saying many times as we've kept trying to accomplish something in which we failed at first. In Mark 10, Jesus is saying something for the 3rd time to his disciples. It seems that they have failed to grasp the full meaning of what he was telling them on the 2 previous statements of this. The first time that Jesus said this was when he was in the far northern reaches of the country of Israel. Jesus was in a place called Caesarea Philippi, at the headwaters of the Jordan River. This was about 6 months before his crucifixion. The second time was while Jesus was in the central part of the country called Galilee. Again, the full impact of his statement seemed to not settle in to the understanding of these disciples. Now in Mark 10 is the 3rd time he has made this statement. It is just a little over a week before his crucifixion. You're probably asking, well, what was the statement? For the 3rd time, Jesus had said to his disciples that they were going to go to Jerusalem and that he was going to be arrested, mocked, scourged, and crucified, but rise again on the 3rd day. Perhaps the 3rd time would be the charm. When we're told something once, we're supposed to take note of that. When we are told a second time, we should realize this is important. When we are told a 3rd time, we must not let its meaning get away from us. 3 times Jesus prophesied exactly what was going to happen to him on this final trip to Jerusalem. This is important to us because it illustrates a knowledge that only God could have. This prophetic knowledge proves that his crucifixion was not an accident that got caught up in the emotion of the moment. Secondly, this is important to us because it shows us that Jesus willingly went to the cross to become our substitute for the penalty of sin. The just for us who are the unjust. The one who knew no sin became sin for us. Thirdly, this is important for us because it shows that Jesus was fully in control of the events that were happening to him. As we get closer to Good Friday, these 3 times that Jesus told his disciples about his undeserved death should help us to begin to understand the love that Christ had for each one of us. In fact, Romans 5:8 says that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And then in Hebrews 12, we read how Jesus was the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Such love is hard to imagine. Easter has nothing to do with bunny rabbits and colored eggs, but it has everything to do with where you spend eternity. Most everyone knows that Jesus came, he died, and he rose again. But the things he accomplished at the cross are meaningless until you apply that finished work to your own sin. Just to hear the truth is not the same as applying the truth to yourself. The disciples heard the truth 3 times, but it did not sink in until after the resurrection. If you wait to let the truth impact you until after you die, that will be too late. God gives time now to hear the truth of his scriptures and to respond with faith and repentance. Get it right now while you can. Don't wait for some hopeful charm. Give us a call if you need help. Check back in a couple of days for another step closer to the passion and victory of Jesus Christ.